story. Would that Walmart worker trampled to death by shoppers be alive today if Walmart were unionized? That's a suggestion by a pro-union group today. Walmart Watch claiming the death was caused by Walmart's, quote, blatant disregard for the concern and safety of its workers and customers. Now, attorney Gwen Jackson says the group is right. We did ask Walmart Watch to come on the show. They refused. That's a bit of a stretch, though, Gwen, don't you?
It's kind of a stretch, but then when you think about it, well, it's a stretch. I'll tell you why it's a stretch. It's a stretch because, number one, you had a temporary worker. He would not have been eligible to join the union. But, however, on the other hand, if there was a union, that certainly the safety conditions would have been much better. Usually, when you have a union, you'd certainly have a heightened sense of safety, and they might not have had a temporary worker.
Yeah, but we've had rampages at union stores and non-stores, at soccer fields protected by union guards. I mean, sadly, there doesn't seem to be a discretion with this stuff.
Yeah, but, you know, in this case, you know, here, Walmart could have foreseen this was going to happen. They never had a tragedy this bad. I don't think they had a death. But they've had, come on, at this mall, this Walmart, every Black Friday, these problems. I'm sure if there was a union
never had anyone killed.
Never anybody killed. But if there was a union involved, I can bet that.
But we have had union stores where there have been mobs, and there have been storming scenes in response to sales, and we've seen them at Macy's, and we've seen them at Lord & Taylor, you know, Kmart. And the only reason why I raise it is that isn't this just sort of a red herring, and a tragic one at that, to push for unionization?
Well, I'm not saying that you should push for unionization. The argument is that if you have a union, there might be a better heightened sense of security. Like you mentioned all those other stores. I don't think any of them are
What would a union have done? Would a union have looked out there and said, hey, there's a throng here of a couple of thousand?
No, they wouldn't have done that, but the climate would have been different. You have unionization. It sets a whole different climate. The heightened sense of security would have been more prevalent. So that's what
What would be the heightened sense of security?
Well, you know what? I tell you what. They should have not only had security inside, they should have had security outside. People with bullhorns, making sure that the lines
Would a union have done that, or would just a savvy store manager have thought of that?
Savvy store manager would have done it. However, in this particular case, if you have a union on the premises...
But I've seen idiots who are part of unions and idiots who aren't.
You got idiots
idiots
everywhere.
are sort of part of life.
We all know that when you have a union, the bottom line is a union will look out for the employees, okay? They would have had
There are a lot of
voice.
accidents at union shops.
There are accidents everywhere. But we all know, historically, when you have a union in place, the goal of the union is to make sure that there is better protection for the workers.
Thank you very much. Dave Ramsey next.